All right, welcome to Thursday night broadcast here on the IWM broadcast network of the iNRS Racing Series. Tonight, we are at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the second round, let me rephrase that, second race of the first round of the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with Jeff Needy. And Jeff, this is going to be a blast.
It really is. The Worldwide Technology, I still want to call it Gateway, but Worldwide Technology Raceway is an interesting track. Very flat, kind of reminiscent of Indianapolis in that way, but it's egg-shaped. So turns 1 and 2 have a really tight radius, where turns 3 and 4 have a little bit, I'd say, more normal of a radius, wider anyway than 1 and 2. And it is a tough track to get a handle on. So some of these guys, if it's their first time here, they're gonna have some difficulty. It's gonna be exciting. You're right.
Yeah, this is not this for me. This almost feels a little bit like a bit of New Hampshire mixed in here with those flattened corners. So some people love this track. I think I love to hate this track. Because it, I give it to these guys. It's a very technical track where you really have to treat turns 1 and 2 as a whole different race course than 3 and 4. It just completely is different.
It really is. I had never raced on this track before, so I went out earlier and ran some laps just to get an idea of what these guys faced tonight. And it was very, very difficult. I was probably 7 or 8 laps in before I stopped hitting the wall. It was because of the flat corners, the car wants to push, so you have to brake really hard coming into the corner, then let the car roll through the center, and then you have to be very patient. You can't get back onto the gas until you're almost completely straight. So it's a tough one to get a hold of.
Number of drivers just kind of pulling over as practice is coming to an end. 36 seconds left. We've got 22 competitors tonight here. As again, this is the second race of the first round of the playoffs. For me, this is almost like, and this is a weird way of looking at it, it's almost like it's the meat in the sandwich. This race is bookended by the first race, which was Darlington last week, which, you go into the first round, you've got nothing to lose, you kind of do your best, knowing you've got a couple more races to put it together. Well, depending on how you did that first race, the next race, after we leave Gateway, we pack up everything and we head to the Bristol night race, where, all bets are off. Bristol night is almost like, for me, running Talladega or Daytona. Not because the tracks are anything similar, but because anything can happen. Anybody can win. Your day can end in a blink of an eye. So you've really got to make this race work. This is the meat. This is important. So, this is what it all comes down to. So if you're one of these guys where, you're in the playoff hunt, this is the track to make it work.
Yeah, it's interesting. The car had a little bit of trouble getting off pit road there. You're gonna have to try that again.
All right, we're watching.
Yeah, you almost have to. Sorry. You almost have to have one strategy or the other. If you're in real good points position right now, up at the top of the heap, you can be a little more aggressive on this track. If you're down somewhere near that cut line, you just have to have a good solid day. You want to be a little more careful. You want to just make sure you don't do anything that's going to ruin your evening.
That's exactly right. So right now we've got 2 laps. We've got qualifying underway right now. This is the kind of track where you've just got to get a little bit of heat in your tires. This first lap is your build up some heat, build up some speed. Really the best lap should be your second lap.
See our points leader right now, Jordan Wenzel, out there qualifying in that number 81. Jordan had a good week last week, came in third, and still finds himself still at the top of the playoff heap.
While these drivers are qualifying, let's cover a couple of things. Let's cover first just those standings you were just talking about.
There. You just made a liar out of me. I said Jordan Wenzel was still at the top, but Austin Wheeler was our winner last week, and by virtue of that, that has put him technically in the number one position because he is already locked into the next round. You see Jordan Wenzel in second there, Jacob Mossau in third, Matthew Parasini fourth, Ty Bostic is fifth, Tyler Lem is in sixth, John DeRuger is seventh, Corey Ennis in eighth, and those last two guys, 16 points behind the lead, or excuse me, 16 points above the cut line. And from then on, Rick, it starts to slim down on the points.
Yeah, really, when you look at the cut line between Eric Jeffers and Vince Burns, it's just it's a 6-point swing between the two of them. So, yeah, if you're Eric Jeffers, if you're Vince Burns, really Tony Japs, I don't think Lucas Whitehead actually made the field tonight. So, really, it's those guys, Burns, Joseph Musau, and Tony Japs. They've really got to have a good night.
Yep. Absolutely. And even guys like Dakota LaRue, Garrett Walden, John Ledger, they don't have a big margin to work with. So those are the guys that are really have to be careful tonight. They've got to get a good finish, but they don't want to get themselves in a jam. They don't want to overdrive the car. They don't want to get into a situation that's going to take them out and put them at the back of the field.
Absolutely. All right, just about a minute and a half left of qualifying. We've got just a handful of cars left to qualify at this point. Everybody has put in a time, but a couple of drivers are trying to get their second lap to make it work. And once they finish qualifying, the drivers will take a 5-minute warm-up or break for an admin meeting, and then out we go. So about to get this underway.
Yeah, I've been looking at some of the qualifying times compared to their practice times, and a lot of the guys are 0.2 slower, maybe 3. A couple guys half a second slower on their qualifying lap over their practice lap. But we had a couple guys that were right in there, Vince Burns, Garrett Walden, almost identical times within hundredths of a second of their fast lap in practice. So those guys figured something out. I don't know if our guys that are 2 or 3 tenths off were just saving a little bit, but looks like Jordan Wenzel, we were talking about him earlier, right now he's got the provisional pole. He had the fastest lap in practice as well. So when the official results come in, we'll find out if that holds.
All right, well, let's cover the race. 2 things to cover: race information about what the race is all about tonight, and then we'll talk about the keys. So let's talk about race info as the drivers move into their meeting.
There's a great shot of what that track looks like. We talked about it being egg-shaped, and you can tell right there. See how turns that red line is the start-finish line. So you get down to the right to turns 1 and 2, very tight radius compared to 3 and 4. That's going to make it very interesting challenge for these guys. Got 85 degrees track temperature, 40% humidity, a little cloudy, virtually no wind. The race tonight, 120 laps, and that's going to be tiring for these guys. That's going to work them hard. We're going to have a stage break at lap 40. Just like every other race, there's no quick repairs. Pit road speed is 45 miles an hour. So when you're out here running 145, then all of a sudden you have to slow down to pit road. And it's a tricky pit road entrance as well. We'll talk more about that later. 6 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 5 in the pit, 75% fuel, and the opportunity for 3 green-white checkers should we need them.
Absolutely. And the actual track temp tonight, Jeff, is 115 degrees. So it is a little warm actually on track today for this event. So, all right, with that, let's talk about our keys for success tonight for sure.
And there they are, the 3 keys to tonight's race. The first one, we haven't said this much in our keys to the race, but rhythm. This racetrack is a rhythm track. A driver's got to get into his rhythm, and the only way to do that is with long green flag runs. If you keep having caution flags, it's going to mess up people's rhythm, and that's really where breeding cautions comes into play.
The other thing is going to be tire saving here. You know, we've got 120 laps. We do have a stage break at lap 40. Our initial calculations say that they can run about 50 plus laps per tank of fuel, so that takes out the need to stop prior to the stage break. So we figure stopping at 40, refuel, good to 90, refuel, good to the end of the race. Now, do I believe we'll run caution free? I hope we can, but this is what you said earlier about this track makes that highly unlikely. It is flat, fast, and it's hot. Those 3 factors make it very challenging. So again, point number 2, tire saving. If you can manage to keep your tires together, be super careful not to scrub off and overheat them, then as the run begins to wear down towards the end, you will put yourself in a position to be able to advance through the field.
And that brings us to the third key, long run strategy. And really, tire savings and long run strategy go hand in hand. You hit it right on the head, Rick, that these guys have to take care of their tires early in the run to save them for a longer run. Now, if we get a lot of cautions, they've got 6 sets of tires. If we ran green the whole way, they'd probably only use 3 of them. So they've got 3 sets that they can work in there on their long run strategy. And just knowing when to put those tires on is a huge decision that these guys will face tonight.
All right. Well, just 30 seconds before we go live, we will try our best to keep up with some trivia tonight. If we need to throw in some trivia to fill in some of the time with our race. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But we'll try to keep you entertained as this race goes on.
I have been looking forward to this race. This is a track that I have wanted to go to for a while. I drive by it. I live about 3 hours from this track, and whenever I go to visit my family, we drive right by it. And so I get a good look at it every trip, and I always tell myself, I want to go to that track. I want to see a race there. You can see from the grandstands, you can see the arch in St. Louis. And it's a fun place to go, it's a fun city to visit, and I have a feeling that this track's going to put on a show tonight.
All right, and speaking of that, we do have a grid. Let's go ahead and bring that up. There we go.
And Jordan Wenzel, like we said, he started it off with the fastest lap practice, got the pole position. Alongside him in second is Austin Wheeler, last week's winner. In P3, Jacob Mossau, who finished second last week. Fourth is Tyler Lem. Fifth, Corey Ennis. Sixth, Richard Mills. Seventh is Matt Parasini. Alongside him in eighth, Vince Burns. Garrett Walden in ninth. And 10th is John DeRugeris, Christopher Cash in 11th, and Dakota LaRue in 12th position.
All right, in 13th, you've got Jeff Ramsdale, Eric Jeffers in 14th, Ty Bostic in 15th, Joe Musso in 16th, Austin Walton in 17th, John Ledger in 18th, Ron Fitting in 19th, Tony Japs in 20th, Gage Tuzak in 21st, and Mike Wheel is in 22nd. That is our field for tonight's event. All
Cars
right.
are out there lined up double wide, getting ready to take the green flag. They'll make one circuit around here behind the pace car. The pace car will dip into the pits coming off turn 4. And these guys will be bringing it to green here in just a few seconds.
All righty. Drivers are getting ready. You can see the drivers with the playoff banners on their windshield. That yellow banner across their front of their windshield indicates they're a playoff driver. And also, when looking at our crawl across the top and our tower to the left, you will see those drivers outlined in red. Those drivers are playoff drivers. All right, pace car dropped off, and the guys are about to enter the Geico restart zone. And we are underway here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Well, 48 got a good jump there. Austin Wheeler gets out to the lead ahead of Jordan Wenzel. Let's see if he can hold that or not.
Oh, cars are on the wall. Caution did not come out.
Oh, it will now.
Yep, that's Christopher Cash. He has got a severely damaged race car.
Yeah, when you go head first into the wall like that, you're almost always going to get engine damage. The way iRacing calculates their damage model,
he's
done. Hard front impact like that is going to shut you down.
I'm sorry to interrupt. He has got major front end damage on both the left and the right side. Those toe links are broken. He is he could be done for the night.
Not the way you want to see your race end on lap 1. Not even getting the whole way through the corners.
Let's backed it up. He may have had a little bit of help there. Maybe not. So you see right in front of him, there was a car that was in the wall.
Is that the 59?
Off to the on the outside
John
lane.
John DeRugeris.
Well, no, that's John. In front of John's the red car. See the Pepsi car off into the wall. The red car tries to gas tire limb. Vince Burns comes out to try and avoid it, and unfortunately, did he get a bump from the 97? No contact from the 97, but he just gets loose right here.
Yeah.
And turns right in. And that is a section of the track I don't believe has a safer barrier. I think it's concrete only. That's why the damage is so severe. Well, we didn't really get a whole lot of laps in, and we're already under caution. So Richard Mills is the 88 car. He was involved as well, but it was a separate incident. He is in the pits right now, probably getting some repairs made. Christopher Cash in the 69. He could be in there for some time.
It's always frustrating for drivers to get involved in an incident on lap 1. We've all caused a problem like that at one point in time, and we've all experienced it on the downside of it when somebody else does it. And it's one of the most frustrating things when it happens on the first lap. You have no quick repairs, and your night is done. We'll hope Christopher Cash can get his car back out there again. That 88 of Richard Mills is back on the track. And ironically, he holds the fastest lap record right now.
Wow.
In
All
next
right,
to
so
last place, he's got the fastest lap.
we're going to throw up a quick trivia question. What year did Worldwide Technology Raceway originally open? Throw that out there. We'll try to get it back answer to you once we go back to green. Pace car drops off, and we'll get this back underway. Jordan Wenzel is in charge from that outside line.
Austin Wheeler gets a great jump.
And puts himself out in front.
We see how quickly those cars line up single file, because this is a tough track to take the corners.
Oh, already something spinning. That's the 27 of Corey Ennis already going around, and the whole field is in number of drivers involved. 27 involved. Looks like Jeff Ramsdell is involved, Dakota LaRue involved, Austin Walton involved.
Did they get a full lap in?
Not sure. So you see the 97.
Like happened in,
guess the 97 came up and brushed into the 27. Unfortunately, Corey did everything he could to keep it together. Then he gets a little bit more help from the 97, and that just, that's the end of that time. The number of drivers make it around. But 97, unfortunately.
Yeah, these corners aren't super wide on this track. So if you get an accident like that in the corners, then a lot of times there's just nowhere to go. You don't have much room to maneuver. You see a lot of guys coming to pit road right now. Most of them, all of them, towards the back of the field.
Yep, absolutely. Well, let's answer that trivia question before we throw out another one. Not sure I saved enough trivia questions for tonight. But this track opened up in 1967 as Gateway International Raceway's drag strip.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's pretty cool looking when you drive by it. You can see the drag strip right next to the track itself. And there a lot of times when I've gone by there, it's not even a race weekend, but they'll have car shows or flea markets or a lot of different activities going on at that track all the time.
All right, so let's go ahead and throw out another trivia question. So we've got it. So, all right, when did the facility officially get renamed Worldwide Technology Raceway? What year? What year did the facility officially get rebranded Worldwide Technology Raceway? All right, our field's forming back up one more time. We're only here, second caution, lap number 8.
Corey Ennis, Christopher Cash still in the pits right now, getting work done. We are on lap 8, like you said, and Christopher Cash, poor guy, he's 6 laps down. So the race not starting off well. But if he hasn't dropped out yet, he must be able to get that car repaired.
Yeah. The concern is for the 27 of Corey Ennis. He's a playoff driver, and he is in the pits from that last incident. All right, pace car has dropped off the racing surface, and Austin Wheeler takes this field back to the start-finish line through the Geico restart zone, and we are back underway here at Worldwide Technology Raceway in the Enjoy Illinois 150.
He's got that acceleration point timed well. Gets a good jump on Jordan Wenzel, and just he's done that two starts in a row now, and it makes a difference. He's up there in the clean air and controls the race. I love this shot because you can watch the tack. Watch how they're completely off the gas there. And then they just roll through the corner, start inching it back. Right about there is where they finally get back into the gas full again. And that takes so much patience to do that right. Whoops.
Caution has not come out. It stayed. But that is, unfortunately, 28 of Joe Musso. He has got some significant front end damage. Another playoff driver. That left front is not rotating. He has got some serious suspension damage on that car and need to get that repaired. But we have remained under green here.
Good job by Joe to get that car, keep it moving, stay out of everybody's way, and get that into the pits quickly so we could stay under green. Yeah, when you see that front fender missing like that and that not rotating, it's almost assuredly at least a toe link, and it's going to take some time in the pits for Joe Massa on that 28.
Austin Wheeler has recorded the fastest lap so far, a 33.475, just a lap or so ago. When things get going here, Jeff, these laps tick off pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yep. That lap by Austin Wheeler, I think this is something about the tires too, that it takes them a few laps to really come in, because that lap of Austin Wheeler, 33.475, is about a tenth of a second faster. Oh, it's exactly a tenth of a second faster than the pole position. So for a little while, these cars may get a little faster, and then as the tires start to wear, then we'll start seeing them slow down.
All right, Austin Wheeler continues to lead.
Hey, whenever you're ready for another trivia question, I just thought of one, so we don't have to do it now, but don't let me forget it.
Okay. So when did the facility, go ahead and answer that one. The facility was renamed Worldwide Technology Raceway in 2019, not too long ago.
No. I was going to guess 2020, but I knew it was back in there somewhere.
Just before COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
COVID seems to be like so many discussions I've had.
Yeah.
It's like a marker in our lives. Yeah.
Boy, isn't that the truth? It's crazy. Something was either before COVID or during COVID or after COVID.
That's
you
right.
hear it every day. Well, these cars have really spread out a little bit now, running single file. There goes somebody down to the inside. Looks like he saved it.
Yep, that's Garrett Walden. He held it together, but super close there.
Yeah, if he would have got totally into the grass, probably wouldn't have been able to control it. Good job by Garrett to keep that car moving forward. You can see there, playoff drivers, for the most part, having a good showing here up at the front. You got Austin Wheeler, Jordan Wenzel, Jacob Mossau, Tyler Lem, Matt Parasini, Vince Burns, and Ty Bostic. The first 7 positions are playoff drivers, followed closely by Tony Japson, John DeRugeris at 9th and 10th. So playoff drivers having a good start to the race tonight.
Yep, just a little bit of news. Joe Musso, who was involved in that incident that did not bring out the caution, the 28 car, he has retired and is out of tonight's event.
That's a bummer for him.
All right, 17 laps in the books. We have a stage break at lap 40 as indicated on the screen. Austin Wheeler continues to lead this field. Jordan Wenzel right there in second. They swapped positions on the since the start of this race.
Looks like Corey Ennis in that AA27 car is back on track now. So he was able to get the repair work done on that, get back out on the track. In a few laps, he'll work his way up to 20th when he gets around Joe Mossow.
Yep, every position is important. He's got probably 3 or 4 laps, and he'll take over that position. And eventually, depending on how this race goes, that he could continue to move up. So.
And he's the only car running right now, Corey Ennis in the 27, the only car running that is a lap down. He's actually
11.
Yeah, but his intervals, he's 2 laps behind Joe right now. That's where that is. Okay. Yeah, 11 laps down. That's going to be tough to make up on Lucky Dogs. I hope we don't have enough.
Yeah.
No offense, Corey.
Yep. Sorry. We'd like to avoid that, but hey, stranger things have happened.
That's right. We've had that many before.
So as you can see, as we're kind of panning back through the field here, all single file at this point. This field has kind of stretched itself out. It's just one of those challenging tracks here.
Pit road's going to play an important role tonight. You can see there's not a lot of passing going on. Cars get kind of strung out, running single file. And it's not that they're not doing their job. These drivers are working hard. This is a hard track to drive. Your focus has to be there, your concentration. You want to be able to not get too tired too early, things like that. But it's going to be interesting tonight to see the role that the pit stops play in the race. And the caution's out again on lap 22.
Caution's out, not sure why. Looking back through the field, I don't have any. It may have been Ron Fitting. Let's go back and see what we can see. No, it happened in front of Ron.
Yep.
It's like the 42 of Tony Japs. Let's play that back. Do you have any help there? Looks like there's contact with the 97 again.
Jeff Ramsdale.
That's we saw Jeff Ramsdale get involved in the 27 earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if Tony didn't know he was down there. Well, he leaves him room, but that 97 pushes up, doesn't he?
Yep. Just watching that seam there, the 42 just kind of pinched him off, but you're right, the 97 did come up just a little bit, just enough, unfortunately, to make that contact. No real damage to the 42 or to the 3, so those guys will come in. Everybody's on
Everybody
pit road.
coming in now. They want another set of tires. Plus they'll take some fuel, and that means they won't have to spend as much time on pit road. We're about a little over halfway to the stage break. If they start with a full tank now, then they have only got to put 16, 17 gallons or 16 or 17 laps worth of fuel
Yep.
in the car on the next pit stop.
All right, so that does bring up another trivia question. Jeff, you said you had one?
I do. This is an interesting one because we've talked about the names of the track. A lot of people call it the real name, the official name, Worldwide Technology Raceway. I still call it Gateway because of living here in Missouri for so long. A lot of people just call it St. Louis, just like they call it Chicago or Atlanta or things like that. But here's a question for you. What state is the track located in?
Good question. Good question.
What state?
All right, while you noodle on that, we're about to go back to green flag racing. Austin Wheeler will be the control car. Lights are off on the pace car as we get this Enjoy Illinois 150 back underway. And folks, we appreciate you that are tuning in live or you're catching this on replay. We certainly would love if you have an opportunity to like and subscribe to our channel and never miss a race or a video. We ask if you could and join the IWM broadcast family. Oh, just saw the
40, yeah.
48. We're back underway, but that was good timing. Unfortunately, he blinked for a little bit, and we saw the 48 disappear. Another challenge that you do face with an internet-based simulation like this is.
Yeah, it caught the drivers by surprise. You see somebody almost make contact with the wall there. That is so tight coming off that corner under acceleration.
Oh, a little bit of contact there.
Yeah.
The 12 up under the 97, almost 3 wide there. This is not the track for that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a little bit of a, hey, I'm not pleased.
Could have been, a little bump in the back. 97's gotten some contact with the 91. That's Gage Duzak.
And that's a name we're not real familiar with. I don't know if Gage has run in this series before or not.
No, I think he's just starting out. As the race season winds down, you sometimes see adding some new drivers because they'll get to know these drivers and they'll join the series for next year.
Yep.
Saw a little bit of contact with the 27 and the 97. Saw that earlier. 27 was in the pits due to some contact with the 97. Kind of watching that battle. A little bit of scrap going on there. So you asked the question, what state is the track located in, Jeff? What's the answer to that?
Well, you would think, since everybody calls it St. Louis, that it would be Missouri, but it's not. It's actually Illinois. It's located, let me think, what's the name of the town? Madison, Illinois. It's almost right on the line. The Mississippi River comes down through there. It separates Missouri from Illinois, and the track just happens to be on the Missouri side. There's nothing much out there other than the track, but it's so close to downtown, everybody just calls it St. Louis.
All right, with that, you saw Jacob Musso has now moved himself into second place here. Jordan Wenzel moves back to third. Let's bring up that information.
A little changing around in the pits there. You have after Jordan, you've got Matt Parasini in fourth and Tyler Lem rounding out the top five. All playoff drivers up through P10 right now.
Keep an eye looking back through the field a bit here. Just keep an eye on what's happening towards the back of the pack. As you can tell, we are all single file here, lap 31, just 9 laps away from our stage break at lap 40.
On a track like this, it's difficult to pass, and I think you'll see drivers tonight. You're seeing a little bit of it right now, where they just don't want to risk it this early in the race. We talked about how tough these corners are, and the smart drivers, the patient drivers on a 120 lap race, they're not going to be putting their car in a compromising position only 32 laps in. So we won't see a lot of tight racing here at the beginning, I don't think, but I think as we get closer to the end, somebody's off the track there, still green. I think as we get closer to the end, it'll heat up a little bit.
That's Gage Dusack. He has got some damage on that 91 Chevy as he brings it down onto pit road. Looks like some nose damage there, but not terrible. Bring in for some repairs. But no caution, we stay green here, lap 33. Austin Wheeler continues to lead.
About 6 or so laps to go till we get to the stage break. We'll have another caution. And I have a feeling these guys will come in, probably get another set of tires, and fill the fuel tank up. Whoa, boy, you see, I was watching Austin Wheeler from a front view on another screen and saw him get really tight there coming out of 1 going into 2. Or excuse me, got really loose. I'm speaking backwards tonight, my dyslexic tongue.
Looking back through the field here, seeing some issues back there around the 97, all clear for the moment. Back up through the field, all good. Again, single file. And again at the front, Austin Wheeler continues to lead with just 5 laps to go before our stage break. All right, while these drivers... Yeah, go ahead. You talk about Corey Ennis?
Yeah, Corey Ennis, we talked about him being 11 laps down. He's only 10 laps down now because of that pit stop, but Ron Fitting spent a little bit of time in the pits, and he's a couple laps down now, so he replaced Corey as the lucky dog eligible driver.
Right now, Gage Dusack, after that incident, is now in the pits. He's now 4 laps down. But those 2 other drivers, Ron Fitting and Corey Ennis, they're still on track, hoping to make up and move up. And as we talked about, with Corey staying out, getting those repairs made, and with some attrition, Christopher Cash, Joe Musso out, then there's every opportunity to move up, even if it's just 1 position at the end of the season or at the playoff cut. You know, every point counts.
Absolutely, and it's tough sitting in the pits on a shorter track like this, only 1.25 miles. The laps just tick off every 33, 34 seconds. Another lap goes, and if you spend a couple minutes on pit road, which seems really fast to repair a car, all of a sudden you find yourself could be 3-4 laps down just by that.
Watching the stage battle here, just a couple laps to go. 24, Matt Parasini trying to get around the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. Again, every point counts here in these stage breaks. But Jordan Wenzel has held them off as we go to 1 to go. it looks like solidly Austin Wheeler has led every lap so far.
Austin Wheeler's always been a great restart driver. He gets a good solid jump when he's up in the front few rows, and that's what got him tonight. He started second, but got such a great jump on the start that he was able to lead that first lap and hasn't given it up since, as the caution comes out for the stage break.
All right, our stage one has been completed. So that order that's posted there is all playoff drivers, all in the top 10. As these drivers wait to pick up the pace car, and expect to see everybody on pit road top off fuel. Probably there are allotted 5 sets of tires in the pits. Probably a good idea to get fresh rubber on and basically do a reset. All right, so with that caution, let's go ahead and ask a more detailed question. Talked a little bit about the corners at the beginning of our broadcast. So what makes the corners at Worldwide Technology Raceway unique compared to many other race tracks?
Good,
what
solid
makes
question.
The corners unique compared to other NASCAR tracks? Ken, I'll let you think about that as we watch these pit stops get underway. Oh, solid challenge by Jacob Musow there. Holy cow. A fabulous pit time. That last time was a 14.75, nearly better than 0.2 better than Austin Wheeler.
Yeah, only one driver had a faster pit stop. That was Dakota LaRue by 0.02 of a second. Dakota LaRue in the 18 got himself a great pit stop there.
Some really good pit stops all around. Look at Garrett Walden here. Garrett put down a 14.47.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Smoking time. Pericini did a 14.65. Just some great times by these drivers. But really the big story is Jacob Musow winning that battle off of pit road. It's so hard to pass. We've already seen that tonight here in the first 40 laps, how challenging it is to get around. So if you can get your pit crew to make up the difference in the pits, well, that's what you got to do.
Yep. And in iRacing, so much of the pit stop falls on the driver. Getting into the box quickly, getting out of the box quickly, not losing time on pit road, as you're entering pit road, you don't want to slow down too early, but at the same time you don't want to slow down too late. So you just got to be perfect in every step of a pit sequence.
Well, pace car drops off as the drivers make their way into the Geico restart zone with Jacob Musow in charge of this restart, and off we go. Green flag flies here.
Whoa, what a jump. Wow. Great jump by Jacob Musow on that 25. Matt Pericini challenging for second as well.
Yeah, he finds himself up under the inside of Austin Wheeler, trying to make a difference there and get around. As the rest of the field begins to fan itself out, nope, 24 says, you know what?
Yep.
I'm good. He tries to get back off, but then drops down. That space is going to close up because Jordan Wetzel is not going to let it. Well, there he goes. He lets it happen. Oh, the 48 is challenging the 25, saying, hey, I want my lead back.
Jacob Massau's got the advantage there because he can come into the corner high and then arc down and not lose as much speed, where Austin Wheeler had to brake a little bit harder because he's hitting that turn at less than an optimum angle.
It's like the 12 of Eric Jeffers got off track there. Not sure exactly what happened, but something happened to Eric. See him up right there, down low, out of the racing groove there.
Yep.
And unfortunately gets a little slip slide in the way and in the grass.
Good job saving that and keeping us under green. Unfortunately, that leaves him at the last car on the lead lap now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Austin Wheeler for a second there. He had dropped out. Again, looks to be like there's some connection issues for Austin tonight. That's not helpful.
No, not at all.
So we asked, what makes the corners at Worldwide Technology Raceway unique compared to many other tracks? Scott Thomas did respond and say it's asymmetric. That is absolutely true, but we'll give you a little bit more information. Just a second. Those corners have different banking angles. Turn 1 and 2 are 11 degrees of banking. Turns 3 and 4, they're 9.
That's why we went back to the beginning of the race. You were talking about how you have to, it's almost like two different racetracks at each end.
Yep.
There's a good bit of battling going on here at the front. Austin Wheeler does not like being in second place.
No, I think he's
sticking his nose under there, trying to make a way.
Yeah, absolutely. If he can solve that connection issue, he'll continue to battle up front. But that certainly makes it a challenge.
Yep. And that is so dangerous especially at the front of the field, because when you have a connection issue and you blink, there are times where nobody can see you for 2 or 3 seconds, sometimes even longer. But normally it's a quick blink, or it might be a couple seconds. But that's a scary couple seconds when you're going through a tight corner side by side, and all of a sudden the car beside you blinks out.
Absolutely. So we saw earlier with that Eric Jeffers spin. He was down in that. You can see, as we look out the windshield of Matt Parasini here, you can see as they go through these corners, the darker area of the track, that's where rubber has been put down from these tires. You can see that right there. There's a little more grip there, but as you can see that Matt Parasini, he's dipping down low there. There is less grip down there, and really it's super easy to slip up the track. And unfortunately, two things: you could either have another car there, or you could unsettle that back end of the car and you could come around, which was what happened with Eric Jeffers in the 12. Well, just 8 laps away from the halfway point here at the Enjoy Illinois 150 here in the iNRS Racing Series. As we said earlier, we are in the playoffs, so this is race number 2 here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Next week, we pack up the haulers and move this to a night race at Bristol. And, it's a fun race to broadcast. There's so much going on. As a driver, it is fast. Things happen in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, one of my favorite races I've ever gone to is the night race at Bristol. And it's exciting. there's so much going on. There's something about the way the lights hit the cars, and it's a overload of sensations. Jacob Massa now settled in that first position. We have a couple big gainers so far. Ty Bostic in that 22 car is up 10 spots. Ty normally runs up towards the front like this. He didn't have as good a luck in qualifying, but he's gained 10 spots, gone from 15th up to, 15th up to 5th. And then a little further back in the field, Mike Wheel in the 96. He's gained 10 spots also, started 22nd and is all the way up to 12th now.
Great results so far for the 96 of Mike Wheel. All right, so finally the 24 has challenged the 48 and has gotten the pass done, at least in the moment. But he's gotten around Austin Wheeler. Austin's now back side by side with Jordan Wenzel. Oh, the 81 tagged the outside retaining wall.
That almost looked like he reacted to that car on his inside. Because it was like he was off the wall, and all of a sudden, either that or he maybe started to get a little bit loose right there coming off the corner. But all of a sudden, he just took a hard right, made a little bit of contact, and got it back under control again.
Watching the 99 of Tyra Lem on the tail of the 22 of Ty Bostic. Looking for a way to get around that 22. At the same time, that 48 now finds himself sitting in 4th. Back up front, Jacob Musso continues to lead. But now I think Matt Parasini in the 24 wants to challenge.
We're seeing these guys get a little bit racier in this second stage than they were in the first one.
Yep, and if we stay green, we should expect these guys to come in somewhere in the mid-90s, lap 90 to 94 for the next round in the pits. If we stay green.
It's looking promising. When they get spread out like this, you're not as likely to have a caution. And usually if you do, it's a single car or maybe a couple cars. Boy, when they happen early in the race, seems like there's always a lot of people involved.
Yep, all bunched up. Watch the 97 of Jeff Ramsdell make his way around Vince Burns. Back up front, Jacob continues to lead. Matt Persini just right on his tail. But we are, as we said earlier, we're nose to tail, single file. All right, that is the halfway point here at Worldwide Technology Raceway in the Enjoy Illinois 150. 61 laps complete.
If we do make it all the way to our next set of pit stops under green, we're gonna see some interesting things. You just saw it out the windshield of that car. The way the pit entrance works on this track is you can enter the pits in turn 3, where most tracks don't really give you that option or don't use that option. And I'm not sure what the rule is, Rick. Do they have to enter there, or can they come in right where we just saw off of turn 4?
I think they have to come in off of turn 3.
Okay, that's what I thought too, but I wasn't 100% certain. But it is a tricky entrance.
it's a grassy area. You can't get in off of 4, so you've got to enter off of 3. And the real tale of the tape here is it takes 34 seconds to get around this track for a lap. Because you have to slow down and enter on into turn 3, that pit stop from entry to exit will cost you 46 plus seconds. So in effect, taking down a lap and a half.
That's where you do not want to get caught with a caution coming out right after you pit.
Absolutely.
Or stuck in there.
When you think about it, you're only in the box for about 14, 15 seconds, which means you're going to burn 31 seconds getting on and off pit road.
Yeah. Yeah, guys that pit and then they pit, if they pit early, then the caution comes out. They are hung out to dry, lap and a half down from where they were.
Yeah, because it's not like you're just missing one lap. You're a solid lap and a half, so it's hard.
Yep. And you really have to give the drivers in the series a lot of credit because, in real world NASCAR, you've got a crew chief up there, you've got a spotter, you've got engineers that are calculating your fuel. In this series, most of these drivers are doing all that themselves. They're working out their strategy. They may have a strategy going in, but that always changes during the race, depending on what other people do, depending how the cautions fall. And these guys have a lot on their plate, and they have to drive the car. So kudos to them. Great job by all the guys in this series that do a really good job week in, week out, handling all of the tasks that come along with driving the race car.
All right, there's a couple of housekeeping issues. Joe Musso has retired. Gage Duzak has also retired from tonight's event, so we've lost 2 drivers who are packing up their haulers and heading back to the shop as they get ready for Bristol. Chris McCash is still in the pits trying to get those earlier that damage fixed. We'll see if he's able to get back out. .67 laps complete. Let's see if we can throw out another trivia question. Oh, that's a good one. All right. Who won the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series race at Worldwide Technology Raceway?
2019. Oh, let's see.
Who won the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series Raceway event?
I've got my pick, but I think I'm probably wrong. A lot of confidence there.
Yeah.
Look at that 24 take his nose down in there, and he made some progress that time. Look, gets back to the gas, then has to ease off.
Great battle here between these drivers.
Yeah. And that's really benefiting Jordan Wenzel, because when these guys run side by side, that slows them down a little bit and lets him get a chance to get right up on the 24.
24 is right there. He's
clear now. Yep.
New leader, Matt Pericini, takes over the lead here. Lap 70. Just 50.50 laps to go here in the Enjoy Illinois 150. But I don't think Jacob Musso's ready to give it up. He's trying to challenge, I think, and come back.
Great move there by Matt Pericini. He made that look a lot easier than what it really was.
Well, these guys pitted. They pitted the last 30 laps ago. So as we talked about earlier, our keys to the race, if you can save your stuff, if you can save your tires, that long run strategy will pay off. And I think that's what we're watching right here develop with Matt Pericini.
Yeah, I think you're right. The leaders are running about a second off of their best times. And you get back further in the field, and they're running some of them second and a half, close to 2 seconds even. So it's the front cars are the guys that have been able to save their tires.
All right, 24, Matt Pericini continues to lead now. 73 laps complete. Field beginning to stretch out a good bit here, Jeff.
Yeah, they are. The longer we get into a green flag run, the more they get stretched out. A 10th here and a 10th there, and all of a sudden you get some serious separation on the track. The first 5 cars when we started this green flag run were, probably hundredths of a second apart, and now first 5 cars are almost 2 seconds from first to fifth. So you can see it there on your screen. They're spread out.
Yep, looking back at the front, you've got Matt Pericini. His last lap was a 34.82. And now looking at the last lap by the last car running, which is Corey Ennis, the 27, his last lap was a 35.50. So just about 1 full second time-wise. And that has translated into about he's just about a couple turns behind before the leaders will catch up to Corey. And unfortunately, Corey's actually now on pit road. So
yeah, there's a 20-second gap between the leader and Eric Jeffers in 17th, last car on the lead lap. And lap times of 34, that's only 14 seconds.
It's not a bad time if you're the 27 to go ahead and short pit, because, with now there being 45 laps left, that means that
you could make it.
You can make it on that tank of fuel. That could be your last stop. So I think we'll see a number of drivers attempt that strategy. Track's kind of quiet. Maybe make a good opportunity, get in, get your stop done, and then if it comes out later where then you can make it up. But again, as we talked about, pitting under green flag conditions, that's going to put you back a couple laps. All right, so Scott,
it's like Corey. In Corey Ennis's case, he's already 10 laps down. His the guy behind him, Gage Duzak, I don't know if he's out or not, but he's 44 laps down. So if Corey Ennis loses a couple laps, it's not going to hurt him at all. It's a good risk for him.
So Scott Thomas responded back with an answer. Darren responded with Ross Chastain. In the iNRS series back in it was Sean, I guess that's Jensick. But in NASCAR, Scott's answer is Logano, and Scott's correct. It was Joey Logano who won the inaugural event here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
The Penske cars seem to do really well here. They've been talking about it all week on NASCAR Sirius XM. And they expect the Penske cars, although this year Ryan Blaney seems to be the hot topic, but they expect the Penske cars to do well here at Gateway once again.
Like Austin Wheeler is now making his way onto pit road. He's taking advantage of that option. Go ahead and pit early, get it done, and knock it out. Tony Japs is out as well, getting his stop done. So,
yeah, I think Austin Wheeler's strategy in this point is get those new tires before everybody, make up some of that ground like we were talking about. If you can make up a half a second a lap and get in front of these guys, it is difficult to pass, so you might be able to gain spots by short pitting.
Number of drivers also on pit road: Bostic, Burns, and Wheel on pit road.
That's the thing on a situation like this. Once some of the front runners start to pit, then pretty soon they all start coming in, because nobody wants to lose time to a competitor. And when these guys come back out with new tires, they're going to be faster, and nobody wants to lose those spots.
Sixth place, Garrett Walden on pit road, as well as John Ledger.
Oop, another little contact there. That may have been Jordan Wenzel again.
Let's keep our eye on the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. Again, that goes back to our keys to this event. Our number one was rhythm, and that's kind of what we talked about. This is a tough track to drive. Those, as we said, those turns 1 and 2 are way different than 3 and 4. It's getting in that muscle memory to be able to recreate your points of entry and your points of exit. 24 on pit road.
Yep.
He's getting it
slowed down to that 40 miles an hour, was it?
It is. Also
no,
Tyler
45.
Lamb and Jeff Ramsdell all on pit road. And yeah, 45 mile an hour on pit road.
That just feels like you're crawling, especially when you have to get slowed up so early. And it's not like you can come up to that pit entrance. You can get off on the ramp, and then you still can be running a faster speed, but that turn is so sharp that you can't run too fast, or you slide right up into the grass, and then that's going to let you slide across the track. So they've got to slow down gradually to get down to that 45 mile an hour by pit entrance.
Jacob Musso, your leader on pit road.
See him getting 4 tires there.
34 laps to go in this contest. And now the 81 of Jordan Wenzel makes his way down onto pit road. Richard Mills is coming in as well. Still a number of drivers who have not come in. John Drew just takes over the lead here at lap 87. He is now shown in the lead. And you can see the 25 of Jacob Musso just got new tires. He just drives around the leader.
Yep.
To get back on, I think he's back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he is at this point. He's in 8th position, and he's the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, so this is going to be, these green flag stops, this will really jumble up the field and spread it out over the track.
Yep.
Austin Walton on pit road. Now again, I think that DeRudra's pitted last on lap 42. He's probably good until lap 90, 94, somewhere in there. But as you said earlier, every lap you stay on, you are going to be slower than those guys who just got fresh tires. I expect to see the 59 coming down onto pit road. Yep, there he goes.
There he is. With that will allow Eric Jeffers, who was the last car on the lead lap at one point, that allows him to take over the lead. Ty Bostic right behind him. Both of those guys have gained 12 positions now. Now that'll shake down a little bit when they come in for their pit stop.
Yeah, actually, Eric Jeffers is the only one who has not pitted as of yet. Ty Bostic has already made his stop, and he actually assumes the lead.
Now, we talked about Austin Wheeler pitting so early on lap 80. He was the first of the lead cars to come in, and look what it did for him. He's in second spot right behind Ty Bostic. As soon as Ty pits, then Austin Wheeler's going to take over the lead again.
Oh, Ty Bostic has already pitted. He's already done his pit stop.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah, he pitted last on lap 81.
Oh, yeah, he pitted on lap 81. Yeah, I didn't see that.
A good opportunity here for the 22 if he can keep it together for 29 laps. Bring up that gap information. He's got just under a full second between himself and Austin Wheeler, and looking back to Matt Pericini, 4 seconds separating himself with the 24.
Yep. Yeah, Eric Jeffers, he just pitted. I was going to say he's the only one now that has not pitted, but he just entered the pits just now.
Yeah, something must have happened with John Ledger in the 19 because he is still in the pits after that. He's been there for 4 minutes. Must have been some damage associated with that car. He is now coming out, but it must have gotten some damage repair done while he was in the pits. But laps continue to tick away here. It's like Mike Wheel has gone off the track a bit. Saw a little bit of debris flying from the back of the 96.
He got back up to speed, though. He's running in 11th and holding that position right now.
Let's take a look and see what we saw here. See the 97 down low. See the 96 in front. 96 looks a little loose right there. No contact with the 97, but the 96 just goes.
Went for a little ride.
Sorry, I almost
Ty
lost.
Bostic is the big gainer of the night at this point in the race. He's up 14 spots in that number 22 Chevrolet. Mike Wheel, honorable mention, he's up 11. It's amazing how close most of the field is running to where they started.
Yeah, just a spot or two.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Got several +1s, a couple +2s, a 3, a 4. A lot of guys have dropped 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then there's just a handful that are in double digits.
So Ty Bostic has kind of extended his lead over the 48 of Austin Wheeler. Picked up nearly another 4/10, and now has a full second over the 48 of Austin Wheeler. Although Matt Pericini is beginning to close the gap a little bit. He was about 4+ seconds. Now it's down to 3.6. But, and the big but here is 25 laps to go. right, do we have another trivia question? Let's go ahead and look here, see what we got. See what we got. I have to get some more trivia questions here.
Let me see if I can come up with a couple.
Playoff trivia. Let's do NASCAR playoff trivia. All right. Here's a question. In what year did NASCAR first introduce the playoff system, which was then called the Chase for the Cup? What year did NASCAR introduce the playoff system? That should put some thinking caps on for some folks.
Google's burning up right now.
Ty Bostic continues to lead, 21 laps to go, but he is about to start running up on some lapped down cars. It's about to hit, I think he's got coming up on the 19 of John Ledger. Oh, Eric Jeffers may have just gone for a little bit of a off-track excursion. See some debris coming off the back end of the 12. Like all tires are inflated, so he is good.
Yeah, Eric Jeffers is next to the last. Oh, no, now I'm showing him one lap down.
Yeah, he is the first car lap down. But 22 is trying to work his way around lap down car. He got around the 19, but now he's behind the 27 of Corianis. Has caused that, as he worked his navigating through these lap down cars, that has caused that gap to shrink a bit between himself and the 48, but 19 laps to go. The 22 getting down below the 27. We've seen some challenges, though, for drivers as they get too close down and out of the racing groove. Grip tends to go away pretty quickly, so you've got to be pretty careful as you get out of that rubbered in part of the track.
Really cool paint scheme on that 22. I like that.
Once he got through some of those lap down cars, the gap between himself and the 20 and the 48 kind of returns back to where it was before. He's got some clean air in front of him, and with these cars, clean air is king.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ty Bostic and Austin Wheeler are kind of pulling away a little bit. They've got about a second and a half over third place, Matt Pericini. Then those next three, Matt, Jacob Mossau, Jordan Wenzel, are pretty tight together. And then a little bit of almost 8-second drop off to Tyler Lynn. And looks like Garrett Walden just passed him for 6th position. Still in that 8.5 second range.
They are 3 wide back there. John Drudges is a meet in that sandwich as these
I don't
three,
know how you go through that corner 3 wide.
and these are 3 playoff drivers.
Yeah. That's laying it out there. These are guys that want to get some points tonight. Every point matters to them.
They're still battling here. This is a battle for 6th. 43 holds 6th position. Lem passes and his nose gets in front, and he and DeRugeris are battling nose to nose. Oh, 43 spins.
Oh.
Caution comes out.
Yeah, those. You can only do that so long. Then your luck runs out.
Well, the caution comes out here with 14 laps to go, which means we'll be down to possibly a 10-lap shootout by the time this rounds out. So the question is, does everybody come down? What do you think?
And that's going to be tough for Garrett Walden. Hopefully, it looks like he was able to stay, kept it on track and kept it moving. So he still stayed in 9th position. That's good for him because he's only 6 points above the cut line coming into this race. You do not want to have something like that happen and fall back. So here's everybody coming into the pits now, coming to the entrance pit lane. Everybody's going to get fresh tires for the end of the race, I bet. I'm going to guess they take 4. What do you think?
Yes. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Well, and just to answer that trivia question, Billy Jack Racing, you are correct. 2004 is when the series started.
I was guessing 2005. Close, but no cigar.
Oh, that's it. Bostic took right side only. Right side only on the 22.
Is he the only one? Oh, man.
Nope.
Oh, no. Matt Parasini took 2.
He did. Those 2 took 2 only. That's it. Everybody else took 4. That cements his position out in front, but does it make a difference? We will see between these 2 drivers.
10 laps is a lot of time on 2 versus 4. I've always been a proponent of only taking 2, and then I listened to Larry Mack, America's crew chief, the other day talking about it, and he kind of has swayed my opinion to if you can take 4, take it, especially with 10 laps to go. But we'll see. Ty Bostic, Matt Parasini are either going to be brilliant or not so much. We'll see how that happens.
We are seeing the 48 continue to blink a bit here. As we've talked about before, that indicates a connection issue between himself and iRacing. Hopefully that gets figured out. But, very often it's just a matter of a storm or something happening that makes that challenge. But, we've had that issue here ourselves in the broadcast studios. We've been the victim of a storm that rolls through and affects us. But so far, knock wood, all good.
Yep, that Garrett Walden obviously had to take 4 tires after that last stop. That dropped him down to 14th. John DeRugeris is up to 6th, and those were 2 of those 3 cars battling back there. John DeRugeris just came on the radio and apologized for his role. Couldn't make out exactly what happened from the conversation, but good sportsmanship there.
All right, pace car drops off. Ty Bostic is in charge of this restart, and we are underway. Good jump, but 24 gets stalled a little bit there, but not bad. He moves up. Clean air. Oh, and contact between the 48 and the 24. 48 of Austin Wheeler wants this race back. He led so many laps. Now to the inside of the 22. He's got
He'll get him
position
on
on him.
this next corner, yeah. That's where you see 4 tires.
Oh,
Whoa!
48's loose. 48 is
Yeah.
loose. '22 continues to hold him off. 10 laps to go. Lot of contact throughout the field.
24 trying to make a move there. Matt Pericini trying to get his around Austin Wheeler, trying his darndest to get back. He wants that second place position.
He was all the way down on the rumble strip there. That's a dangerous place to be, but he navigated it.
Yep. And the benefactor of all that, or the person who benefited from it, was Ty Bostic. He got a couple car lengths there while those guys were batting, but it looks like the 48's working hard to make that space back up again.
Jacob Musso moves up. Ty Bostic just set the fastest lap of the race. It's a 33.368 on 2 tires. Yep.
That's somebody that's pushing it and doing a great job of keeping it together. He wants to put his car where Austin Wheeler wants to put his and take away that line.
Laps ticking away, but they can't go back by fast enough for that 22. He wants this win.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, and he does not want to see a caution either.
Yeah, and Ty Bostic wants to keep it. You see him come clear down close to the rumble strip there. Oh, Austin Wheeler disappeared. Now he's back again.
At some point, that's dangerous. Luckily, the 24 is not close, but he is. So if you're Ty Bostic, you've got one eye pointing out at the windshield, but you get there, the other eye is looking in the rearview mirror. You're trying to keep and put
Absolutely.
your car.
He does not want to give him that low line,
he just
and
did.
He's got it. Yep. He'll be able to exit a little better, but let's see if it's enough. Ooh, nope.
Side by side.
Wow. 6 laps to go, running neck and neck.
48 has the position. The 22 can hold on if the 48 gets loose. But no, the 22 gets loose. He spins.
Oh,
he does not save it. He goes back up into the field.
Oh, what tough break.
Caution flies here with 6 laps to go. Unfortunately, the 22, go back and look. I don't think there was any contact there.
Yeah, not at first. He was just trying desperately. A little bit of contact there, but I don't think that was the cause of it. Look how close those guys are running. There they touch.
A bit of rubbing right there between the 22 and the 48.
Yep.
'22 just gets a little loose. He's on the upside of that groove.
Yeah, the right side's a little bit out of the black area there, and he does a great job trying to save it, but here when it comes back straight again, then you got to correct the other direction, and it just gets away from him.
A little bit of contact with the 24.
Yep. 24 tried to straighten him up. Oh, but he ended up getting
huge
loose himself and into the wall.
Big contact with that 24 in the wall. He's got some potential front end damage on that. So
yeah, that's a tough break for Matt Pericini and Ty Bostic. Running right up there in the front. They both had a chance for the win, and now they're going to be at the back of the lead lap at best, depending how much damage they got.
24, you can see, has extensive damage on that car.
Yeah, he hit pretty hard.
Trying to get a better shot of that damage. There you go. You can see that that nose, that right side, some serious damage on that car. Both of those cars in the pits. Let's look at Ty Bostic. He's in the pit as well. Extended period of time. That's unfortunate. Well, with that, though, let's head back out. That puts Austin Wheeler back where he started. Jacob Musso and Jordan Wenzel. This is like a replay of where we were for the first 60 laps.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how that happened. John DeRugias has come up from 10th all the way up to 4th.
Good top 5. So we'll be going back with just a handful of laps. The lights are off on the pace car. Going back to green next time by and see if we can get this race closed out.
Trying to look at the playoff standings and where guys are running right now. Looks like John Ledger and Corey Ennis are going to take the biggest hit tonight. They're running 18th and 19th right now. They were 7th and 8th in the playoff. They were both 16 points above the cut line.
Yeah, it's not going to help out Ty Bostic either. That little incident there is going to impact him as well.
Yeah, he's still in the pits, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh, no, he's out now. He's out. Still on the lead lap, too.
Yep, sitting in 14th. But green flag waves. 48 takes over this lead with just 2 laps to go here. Finds himself in clean air. He can hold off this pack. He'll get a win here. That will chalk up to be his 2nd win. Jacob Musso saying, I want this. Let's see what I can do to come back.
Yeah, you've got 3 good, fast cars and smart drivers up there in the top 3.
See, Jacob Musso has already led a number of laps here, but white flag final lap is happening right now. This is Jacob Musso's only opportunity. See if he can get around the 48 here.
Going to have to do it in the corner here, but it's going to be hard to make up that 2 car lengths. Although, boy, he did a great job getting right up to his bumper. But he didn't take away his angle, so Austin Wheeler got off the corner great.
And Austin Wheeler wins tonight here in the Enjoy Illinois 150 in the iNRS Racing Series. John DeRugias is credited with the fastest lap of the race. He chalked up a 33.097 right there on the last lap.
Here's one more trivia question for you. I don't know the answer to it, but when was the last time in the iNRS series when the same 3 drivers finished in the same 3 positions 2 races in a row? Austin Wheeler in 1st, Jacob Mossau in 2nd, and Jordan Wenzel in 3rd, just like they finished last week.
There you go. You can see the drivers right there lined up in their finishing order.
Austin Wheeler disappeared. Oh, no, he's still there. Jacob Mossau disappeared.
Yep, they're all celebrating. Austin Wheeler gets to celebrate. And we should have some drivers in the broadcast booth. Give us a second. We'll get the results going, and then we will jump to interviews.
I like it.
All right, there we go. Austin Wheeler wins the race here at Worldwide Technology in the Enjoy Illinois 150. Jacob Musso in 2nd, Jordan Wenzel in 3rd, John DeRugias in 4th, Vince Burns in 5th, Tyler Lem in 6th, Jeff Ramsdell finishes in 7th, Austin Walton in 8th, Garrett Walden in 9th, and Mike Wheel finishes in 10th.
Dakota LaRue is in 11th. Tony Japs 12th. 13th is Eric Jeffers. 14th, Ty Bostic. 15th, Matt Parasini. Those two drivers involved in that last caution. 16th is Richard Mills, and 17th is John Ledger.
18th, you've got Ron Fitting, Corey Anderson 19th, Gage Zuzaki in 20th, Joe Musso in 21st, and Chris Cash finishes in 22nd. All right, with that, let's go ahead and bring in our third place finisher, Jordan Wenzel, tonight into the broadcast booth. Jordan, congratulations on your finish here. We were just this is where we were last week, were we not?
Yeah, and it's about similar things where you just can't pass.
Yeah.
It's a tough. We noticed it all night long. It's just a challenging track for that.
Nah, it's not the track, it's the car. The Xfinity race yesterday, you could actually pass if you had better tires. The car is just terrible.
The interesting, Jordan, you had the pole position tonight, had fastest lap in practice, fastest lap in qualifying, and you normally get great jumps on your restart, but tonight Austin Wheeler got a jump on you on that start, the first green flag. Was that hard then because of the car to get back into that first position?
It was once you lost the lead, you were done. The only times we saw passes was when there was the 2 tires versus 4 tires, and then otherwise, I just fucked up and chose first gear instead of second, thinking that it would be something, but you just had no run, and then you're there battling through the entire field trying to go forward, and you just have nothing. There's nothing to get.
Well, great job overall, though. Congratulations on your finish. Obviously, we're working our way through the playoffs here. Next week we're in Bristol. Is that a favorite track for you?
I like that track. I like this track. As long as I can hold the lead, I get the feeling that that's going to be again where you just sit there the entire race and you'll win it.
Well, I hope it works out for you next week, and congratulations on your finish. Any shout-outs tonight?
Shout-outs to everybody putting this on, the league, you guys for broadcasting it, all the guys that are racing against. My guys are IRFK, short fuse guys who I hang out with all the time. Yeah, just a rough night.
I understand. All right, that's Jordan Wenzel finishing here in third position. With that, we'll bring in Mr. Jacob Musso into the broadcast booth. Jacob, congratulations on your finish. Man, that was a close there, even at the end.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, as we were watching, Jeff and I remarked as the race kind of reset when we saw that spin by Bostic and him slipping down, and all of a sudden you yourself, Jordan and Austin back up at the front where we started.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed to see Ty spin there. He played the strategy right to get out front there. But when Austin and him made contact in one, I seen them making contact, and I knew they weren't going to have a drive off the exit, so I just pinned it and prayed towards the exit of the corner, and I had a run on him all the way down to turn 3. I was in his inside, Austin, and I think if the caution didn't come out, I would have washed him up a track a little bit so I could get a better exit, and I think I would have got the lead there, and then the caution could have came out once I had the lead. But I got to his door. I was ahead of him, but on iRacing, if it happens in like a certain loop or something, he got back by me. So yeah, for a track I'm absolutely terrible at, I think I did pretty good for a P2.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Yeah, any shout outs tonight?
Oh, definitely. I want to thank all the boys at SFM. Always having fun, although they got absolutely destroyed by lap 10. I'd like to thank you guys for a broadcast, iNRS for a great league, Austin, Jordan, and all them up front racing clean.
You got it. All right, congratulations. We'll see you next week in Bristol.
Thank you.
All right, that is Jacob Musso finishing here in second. And with that, bringing in your winner of tonight's event, Austin Wheeler. Austin, congratulations. We were worried about you for a while there. The internet was not kind.
I was worried for me too. I was like, oh no, don't do it to me.
Yeah, we saw. This was
You-
a tale of two races here at the beginning. You guys were out there doing your thing, and then there was a little bit of a flip, little change of command of this race, and then towards the end, you find yourself right back where you started.
Yeah, I was decent. I was decent on the short run. Long run, I had a hard time with the car in comparison to everybody else. It was I'm not gonna say it was easy in the first stage, but when you're up front managing everything, everybody's pretty much forced to run your pace. So I could save a good bit there, and it kind of got split up with the caution, so I wasn't really forced to run a super long run either. But it definitely showed its head there that one run where we ran 40 something laps and kind of split the end.
Yeah, Austin, we were talking before that last set of green flag stops. You pitted earlier than anybody. I think you pitted like on about lap 80, and everybody else waited till like 84, 85. Did those few laps on new tires help get you back to the top again?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it worked out in my favor with that caution coming out with 13 to go. Because if it had came any later than that, I was going to lose those spots to the 24, 25, and 81 because they were coming on 10 lap newer tires than I had.
Yeah.
So I mean, that caution was my saving grace. The only thing that gave me a chance, really. I was trying to do something different. We're locked to the next round, and I was like, well, I'll pit before halfway, splitting it, and see if I get lucky. And sure enough, that's what it was. I got lucky.
Well, congratulations on your second win. Get some good points to carry over into the next round. Obviously, next up on the schedule is Bristol. Thoughts on Bristol?
I'm stoked. I had that one circled from the beginning. Well, since I won Bristol in the spring, so hopefully we can go and get the sweep spring and fall at Bristol and carry all these points to the next round.
Well, congratulations on your win. All right, Jeff, that's it. Austin Wheeler wins tonight here at Worldwide Technology Center. Next week we are at Bristol Motor Speedway for, let's go ahead and take a quick look and see, just make sure I've got that one figured out here.
Yeah, I'm sad I'm going to miss broadcasting that one. I've got a prior commitment. I'm going to be out of town and unable to be on the broadcast, but you guys should have a ball. That's a fun track. It's a great track to watch a race. It's a great track to broadcast, and it's a really great track to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. That will be the Lindsay Carpet and Paint Bass Pro 250 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Looking forward to that. It is on a relatively solemn occasion. That will be on September 11th. So we'll be remembering 9/11 on that event. But hopefully the drivers come out with some patriotic paint schemes. But we look forward to that event next Thursday night. So, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight here on the IWM broadcast of the iNRS Racing Series. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday night. Good night, folks.